Miro Heiskanen is not expected to be available for Game 1 against the Avalanche, but the Dallas Stars are hopeful for his return in the series. Speaking of returns, Tyler Seguin is nearing one, but not quite ready yet as the Stars continue to rest bodies ahead of tonight's game against the Red Wings.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer 105 through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Welcome back to another week of Locked On Stars. So much transpired over the weekend that we have to dive into today. But no bigger news than that of the update on Miro Heiskanen from earlier this morning from Sean Shapiro, good buddy over at DLLS Stars, was able to get some clarification from GM Jim Nill earlier this morning. And his most recent report is Miro Heiskanen was never not expected for the first round. He will not play Game 1 versus the Avs, but he is hopeful to play in the series. So there you go, some clarification on Miro Heiskanen. Of course, the latest report came from Lian of ESPN, and that got everybody a bit riled up. But Sean Shapiro was able to get some more clarification. So he will not be available for Game 1 against the Avs, but they are hopeful for his return in the series. And let's face it, he could be the difference maker in the series. Well, not could be. He will be. Not saying the Stars would win if he does jump back into the lineup, because I still think there's some questions on Miro returning from a knee injury, but let's not get it twisted. The Dallas Stars are going to be better even with a 70 to 75% Miro. Even less, I think the Stars are going to be better. That's just how important he is to the Dallas Stars. So take that with what you will. I know there is not a lot of optimism. I don't have a ton either, Stars fans, but we're going to continue to grind out the final 2 games of this regular season. And the great thing about the Stanley Cup playoffs is everything reverts back to zero, and it's a brand new ball game, and you can just play with house money, so to speak. And the Stars do have some updates from morning skate tonight as well. They will be resting Lindell and Thomas Harley, so they will be rested tonight. They did not appear in the game against Utah either, where the Stars lost 5-3, and they gave up 4 power play goals in the game. Just another collapse on home ice, and the struggles continue. The great thing about it, even in the struggles, was the Stars' penalty kill was great, but it buckled in the game against Utah as they fell to the hockey club for the first time this season. So Jake Ottinger is expected to start tonight against the Red Wings. Petrovic and Bichsel were at morning skate, and there is the possibility of a Tyler Seguin return on this road trip. He's with the team, but he's not quite ready yet. So he will not play tonight against Detroit. And the reason I bring up Petrovic and Bichsel being at morning skate is, as Sean Shapiro put on X earlier today, they are the ones that would be sent down if Seguin was to be activated off the LTIR. And if you recall, of course, the Stars do have some LTIR money on the table with Seguin, and it's a pretty big cap hit at $9.85 million. So they're going to have to move somebody down or make some wiggle room in the cap in order to activate Tyler Seguin. Who knows if they'll ever activate him? I'm really curious now if they do before the end of the regular season. Is Bichsel going to come back up if they send him down? Or are they more trustworthy of the veteran Petrovic that did play last season and played pretty well for Dallas in that small little sample he had in the Western Conference Final? I think he snuck into a game against Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Feels like a lifetime ago at this point. And I was calling for Petrovic, I think a few months ago too, since they were having issues on their right side, and they just need a body to fill up some time. So obviously Petrovic is being brought in, and I like the proactiveness as well from Dallas. They can't play for anything right now. They're not going to win the Central, of course. They can't improve their seed. Colorado can't catch them, so they have home ice. Rest Harley and Lindell, who have been playing a lot and shouldering those heavy minutes for Dallas really since the Four Nations break. So the more rest you can get them, because Harley may be playing half a game. I mean, seriously, he may be playing half the game, especially if Miro's not going to be ready in the first couple of games against Colorado. Him and Lindell are going to be playing a lot of minutes. So a lot of updates from earlier today. Pete DeBoer is supposed to speak this evening, so we may get some more clarification on whether Seguin will be able to go, but it looks like he is not expected to be in the lineup, and Lindell and Harley are going to be arrested. Mason Marchment, by the way, he was out against Utah as well. No update on Mush at this point in time. I would suspect Pete DeBoer is going to have something to report on him later this evening ahead of tonight's game. So just a lot of things transpiring. So Harley, Lindell, some maintenance. Marchment dealing with a bit of an illness. So just a lot of moving pieces right now, but the Stars do have this opportunity. And you have to remember, Colorado is done with the regular season. They ended yesterday. Yes, Sunday. They're over. So they're going to have about 6, maybe 10 days of rest. Maybe not that much, but they may have about a week off to rest before the Stanley Cup playoffs. Obviously, Stars are not going to have that advantage. They still have a game on Thursday as well to close out their season. So, or Wednesday, against Nashville. So if Dallas can rest Lindell, Harley, give some maintenance days to some others, why not? I was pushing to bring Seguin back at some point in the regular season, but now with a couple of games left, what's the point of working him in if he's not quite ready and having to send somebody down? Just use a loophole to your advantage, bring him back for game one, and boom, you're off and running. He's never going to be as healthy as he is right now at this point post-surgery. And he still isn't 100%, I would assume. So let's have him at his best, whatever that may be. And he can get rolling in game one. And there is some concerns about that with Miro too. I think DeBoer mentioned it maybe a few days ago. He's not going to be ready for playoff speed, but regular season Miro, I'm going to take over Cody Ceci, Matt Dumba, right? I think many would. You just need him in the lineup just to give you something else, or really something you just don't have other than Thomas Harley, and that's a puck-moving, mobile defenseman that they desperately need, that can control the flow of the game and hopefully start to clean up some of the mess that we've seen over the last month and a half, 2 months. Is it going to be the difference in the Stars winning against Colorado? I don't know. Maybe not. I still don't have a ton of optimism, even if Miro's in the lineup. They're just not playing very good hockey right now. And of course, you can flip the switch. As I said, it's a great time to reset, and anything can happen. That's the exciting part about it, and sort of what actually gets me going a bit, thinking about, okay, maybe Dallas can come into this series feeling like underdogs a bit, even though they're the second seed, but feeling like underdogs. We have something to prove. We've played awful the last month of the season. Let's go out there and turn some heads and show why we're in this position at this point in the season for some of the great work we did, let's say from games 40 to 60, 65, right? Just a lot of positives starting to build their game. And now it's slowly started to decline, and we've documented the the expected goals for differential, just all of the different analytics. Of course, you have the injuries and all that good stuff, but it is locked in now. The Stars are playing Colorado in the first round of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Of course, Dallas defeated them in Game 6 last season in the West semifinals. Mikko Rantanen against his old team. You have Scott Wedgwood going against his former team. You got Brock Nelson. You got Martin Necas, who was traded for Rantanen earlier in the year. Just all kinds of storylines. It's going to be a blockbuster event. I just pray the Dallas Stars show up. That's what I'm hoping for. And Tyler Seguin and Miro Heiskanen returning is a step in the right direction. But Miro not expected to be ready for Game 1. They're hopeful at some point in the series. All Stars fans are hopeful for the return of Miro Heiskanen. With that in mind, we got Stars versus Red Wings tonight. Let's preview Detroit, touch on some of those updates from morning skate. Again, plenty more to dive into with this Detroit side. Do that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more, experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. It's about finding the right talent. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivers incredible results. Posting a job is free and simple, and within a day, multiple quality candidates to choose from. Visit Upwork.com right now. Post your job for free. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com, to connect with top talent and grow your business today. Well, the Stars could use a W in a bad way currently. So we'll see how they fare tonight against Detroit, coming off another loss at home against Utah. The Red Wings out of the playoffs, 6th in the Atlantic Division. They're coming off a 4-3 win over Tampa Bay, 37-35-7 this season. They did have a coaching change in the midway parts of the season. Of course, they have some great talent. Larkin's a lot of fun to watch, and just a really, really solid center iceman. You know, you got DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, like young talent that is still waiting to put it all together. They're sort of in the Buffalo boat over the last few years. You're expecting them to make that jump, and it's just not happening right now. And I think they were expecting to make the playoffs. That was the expectation, and it just did not materialize this season. Patrick Kane, for that matter, 57 points in 69 games this season. Not bad for the 36-year-old. Not quite Matt Duchene numbers, I would say. Duchene at 34 is, you know, a point per game, which again is just remarkable. Leading the Stars. What a campaign from Dutchie this season, and has been the most consistent Stars forward this year. He really just hasn't gone through a giant slump. I think everybody in Dallas, you could go through and be like, yeah, he had some rough parts here and there. Maybe Thomas Harley on the defensive side of things has been very consistent as well. But just some numbers to look at heading in to this one tonight. Stars power play 22%. That's 16th in the NHL. Detroit 27%. That's 4th. Power play's great. Penalty kill's another question. They're last. 69% at 32nd in the North American Hockey League. They don't win a ton of draws. They're about middle of the pack. They don't score a ton, and they're giving up north of 3 goals per game. So they're having some issues, but the Stars are obviously too. So I feel like the last month they've gone into each game going, well, Stars are better on paper, but what team's going to show up? And you have to factor in Stars are going to be without Harley. They're going to be without Lindell. they're going to be without Marchment. Like they're resting some bodies, getting some guys healthy. So we'll see what transpires tonight. But Otter will be in net. Jake 36-16-4 this season, 2.48 goals against, 912 save percentage. He's looked magnificent recently. And let's be honest, I think Jake Ottinger at this point is going to be the saving grace for Dallas if they're going to make any sort of run without Miro or with him for that matter. Jake's going to have to just be lights out. We're going to need a Calgary-esque Jake Ottinger performance, I think, against Colorado. Detroit, they got Mrazek and Talbot. Mrazek's had an awful year. Talbot's been okay. We've seen him a lot against the Stars. 2019-4, 2.88 goals against average, and 904 save percentage with a couple of shutouts. But DeBrincat's finishing the year strong. He's got 5 points in his last 5 games. Larkin is always a factor. He's a goal away from 30. DeBrincat's got 36 goals. Just a really, really nice season for DeBrincat. So I'm very curious to see what type of a Stars team we have. At this point, it feels like they're just kind of waiting for the playoffs. And, I hope that was the case for the last month. They're just trying to maybe leave some in the tank, so to speak. I've mentioned how frustrated I've been with their intensity in some of these games, just not matching their opponents that aren't playing for anything at this point, and they just haven't been able to match some of that. I hope it's something self-conscious within the locker room maybe, or some certain players just saying, got to leave some in for when it matters at some point. And look, we've said this throughout the season a bit too. Maybe Dallas isn't concerned about where they're going to finish. And only recently, I would say, you heard Pete DeBoer come out and actually say they want to win the Central. But I don't know if that was just for the sake of saying that, because they weren't playing very good at that point anyways. Maybe that was a motivation factor to some degree. They need to buckle up and just start showing some life. And maybe they flip the switch. Maybe these last 2 games are just going to be whatever, and they're going to go through the motions. And I'm okay with that at that point. But I would think it would be a really positive thing if they can win these last 2 games. I believe that they need something positive, right? Even if it's fraudulent, even if it's an ugly game, even if it's not pretty, just a 2 points and a win, I think can charge a locker room and give them some belief at this point. Maybe they don't need belief. I mean, look, they've won multiple playoff series the last few years. They should know they're one of the better teams, but they should also know this isn't going to cut it against the best in the West in about a week's time. So I need a win out of the Dallas Stars tonight. Just go out there, play a decent, solid game, try to play a consistent 60 minutes, and get this thing back on track. So those are a few things to look out for tonight. Again, Lindell, Harley, they're going to be rested. Looks like Marchment is not going to be ready as well. We maybe get some more clarification from Pete DeBoer a bit later on. But a lot of okay. Marchment is out tonight. That's official too with an illness. So okay. Stars, Red Wings tonight, 6:00 puck drop, by the way, so a bit earlier. And with that in mind, time for a shooting star pick. Shooting star, let me know yours in the comments below. We got to choose. I will choose in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. You know I love talking about this wonderful snack that packs a protein punch. You want something delicious, nutritious, Crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios, one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber, better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. The fact that Wonderful Pistachios is a complete protein providing all 9 essential amino acids is all you need to know. Also, it's that satisfying crack of opening each shell. It's like snack meditation. Whether you're running between meetings or trying to drop off your kids, we're busy all the time running around doing things. You need a quick snack that's nutritious. That's what it's about. Wonderful Pistachios, such a sweet, sweet snack. Get snacking and cracking with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. I do apologize for a later episode today. Another great weekend for the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. They swept the Colorado Grits in the play-in series, so they moved on to the division semifinals. They got Shreveport and a best-of-5 starting this weekend. So I'm in the thick of a playoff race, and the Stars will be in just a week's time. So having a lot of fun down here and a great couple of wins, and hopefully they can keep the season moving on. It's going to be a tough series, but looking forward to it. Anyways, enough of that. Stars, Red Wings, shooting star pick. Well, we don't have a ton to choose from with some of the guys out of the lineup. I'm going to go with Rope Hintz. Give me Rope Hintz in Detroit tonight. Got a feeling he's a couple goals away from 30, so let's get Rope to get 30. I think I called Rope to have 30 this season. We're going to have to go back at the end of the year and look at some of the predictions. I have my notebook somewhere that we need to dive into. I wrote them all down, see how many teams I got right in the playoffs and all that good sort of stuff. But just an assist in his last 5 games for Rope, 66 points and 74 games. It's a miracle. He's got to be a point per game at some point during his career. Maybe that's next year. Maybe that will be a next year prediction. He doesn't play all 82. He's never played all 82 in his career, and he's going to play 76 if he hops into both of these ones here this week. But a chance to go 4 straight 30-goal seasons, and I believe that would be the most, or maybe it ties Madonna. I think he tied Madonna last year, though, if I'm not mistaken. So I think 4 would maybe be the most consecutive. Maybe I have to get some clarification on that. So we'll see if he can do it. So I'm going with Rope Hintz tonight, though. And by the way, I've loved his game over the last month or so. It's hard to highlight some of the good stuff Dallas has done. But him, Ranson, and Robe, I think they've looked awesome. And it's not just offensively, like their work rate in the D zone and just helping out and supporting, because I think they know they have some issues on the back end. Like they're doing a bit more, and I think they've done an excellent job of doing that and turning some defense into offense. So I think they need to be praised for that, because it can get lost in all this mess, and you don't want to lump everybody together. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that for tonight. That's my pick. Get Rope going a bit here, because of course he can always be a difference maker for Dallas. So there we are. That's my shooting star pick for tonight, April 14th. Again, apologize for a bit of a later episode today. We'll be back normal schedule tomorrow after we watch tonight. So I'll be able to bang out an episode. Thank you guys so much for love and support. I know it's been very frustrating to watch the Stars lately, and trust me, I hate to be as negative as I am. Y'all know I like to be uber positive most of the time, and look on the bright side. And I apologize if I'm being a Debbie Downer. I know sometimes I can be somewhat of a confidant to instill some confidence, maybe not to overreact. And that I have been able to do that of late. If the Stars can play a little bit better, it'll be a bit easier, I think, for all of us. But I do appreciate all those of you that tune in each and every single day. I know I say it like after every episode, but I'm truly grateful I get to do this. And I love talking Stars. I love engaging with all of you. So thank you. Please sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, never miss an episode. I'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be a great week, Stars fans. No matter the results of the last 2 games, we got playoffs coming up, and anything can happen in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's what makes it so exciting. That's why it's the best sport on planet Earth. So get ready. It's time. It's time. All righty. Have a great day, Stars fans. We'll see you tomorrow. Stars, Red Wings tonight. Prediction, Stars 3-1. Why not? See you later.